It just says waiting for Vincent on the other end.
Thank you. It's coming through now. Hello, families, and thank you for joining us for our third edition of the Dragon Lair Cafe. Sorry for the short delay. I'm still learning. Tonight, we are doing a kindergarten connection where we are going to connect you to... you caught a little bit of the pre-production chatter there. We're going to have two teachers from the kindergarten team do a short presentation about best strategies and practices in working with a kindergartner and our online learning school. So before we get started, I did want to share one quick tech tip, which is going to be the norm for the Dragon Lair cafes. Students may be asked to take pictures of what they're doing in real life, and they will need to upload those into possibly their Google Drive or another learning platform, but often their Google Drive. And Google actually makes the Google Drive app a pretty efficient way to do that. The app by itself allows you to open the app on a mobile device and snap a picture of anything that's done in real life and have that picture automatically added to the student's Google Drive. Now, the details can be found about that tool or process can be found on our website by going to academyk8.aps.edu, scrolling over the Parents menu drop-down, choosing Resources and Digital Tools, and scrolling down here to scan documents to Google Drive from a mobile phone. Clicking on this article will take you to an article that details start to finish how you can use a Google Drive app on your mobile phone, iOS or Android, to get a document directly into your Google Drive. So that takes us to our kindergarten presentation. So I'm going to go ahead and turn over the presentation to Josie and Vel, who will take it from here. Go ahead, Josie. Go ahead, Val, whenever you're ready.
Welcome to Kindergarten Connection. First, we'd like to share with you some of our classroom meet kinder norms. Families would like to ask that children can have their own space, even if it's just a small corner of their bedroom or their living room, that they have their supplies ready, some pencils, crayons, paper, and that it's a quiet location, as quiet as possible. And of course, we'd love for them to attend class on time and stay on the camera during the entire classroom, listening to the teacher. Please help your student learn how to mute and unmute so that they can participate and follow our classroom expectations for our meet. And we do ask that the kids do refrain from eating in class so they can participate fully and remain distraction-free. Next, you will see a version of these rules in many of the classroom Google websites, in the classroom Google websites. And as you'll notice, we talk about sitting quietly, saving our foods and drinks for later, being on time, raising our hands. Thank you so much for following these classroom meeting rules.
So the role of the learning coach, we're going to talk about how this role changes throughout the year. So at the beginning of the year, it's really important that you as the learning coach help your child with technology, that you guide your student with the learning modules so that they can learn how to access the different pieces of Edgenuity, to encourage your child to participate within the classroom by either raising their hand or just participating in unison with the rest of the class. And definitely check communication from teachers. Google Classroom, email, Seesaw, and Edgenuity daily. And this, of course, is something that should be ongoing throughout the year. In the middle of the year, your job as the learning coach, your learning coach position needs to continue to encourage students to participate, but let students answer for themselves. This allows teachers to know what the children's capable of and how we can continue to encourage their progress throughout the year. To guide students in accessing programs such as Edgenuity, Seesaw, and we are going to be introducing a new program called Raz Kids. Show students how to use tech tools. Students by this point in the year should be able to unmute and mute themselves, hide their camera if necessary. The learning coach could be nearby and is available for support when needed, but is no longer necessary to sit next to your child while they're in class, but should be within earshot if needed. And guiding children by giving an explanation when they're doing their work so children can complete as much as possible on their own. By the end of the year, you're again still encouraging your child to actively participate in their class on their own and to guide children to work independently in classwork. It's okay for your child to make mistakes because mistakes help us learn. You can use the phrase, let's try again. Writing. Writing is a wonderful way for children to practice the sounds that they're learning and the letters they're learning. And in Edgenuity, we hear developmental spelling referred to as ear spelling. And this sheet just gives us the different stages of writing. And right now we're looking at children who are probably within letter strings or maybe environmental print where they're copying what they see. And sometimes they're now beginning to use the high frequency words that they're learning, and they're sounding out that last word like pig with the sounds that they've been learning with Fundations. And you can see the variety of spelling that we want children to get to. And by the end of the year, we want them to be able to do transitional spelling, where they are spelling the words on their own so that they can read the sentences that they are writing by themselves as well.
Next, we'd like to share with you about Fundations. Fundations is a multisensory phonics spelling and handwriting program that is taught at our school from kinder through second grade. And one thing we'd like to point out is that every day we go through the letters that we've learned so far and say the letter name, the keyword, and the sound. For example, A, apple, a. It's really important that the children are able to visualize the keyword along with the letter. It helps them remember that sound quickly. So again, parents, if you get a chance, we're going to be sending this home to you so that you can practice with your child. Because by January, we have some new skills that we're going to be introducing. And we're going to share that with you next in a short video.
Good morning, friends. Today in Fundations, we're going to tap out words. Remember, when we tap out words, we always have our elbows up and we use our fingers to tap. Okay, we're going to tap 1, 2, 3, and then slide. We're going to tap each word 2 times. Let's get ready. Okay, elbows up. B, at, bat. Good job. Let's tap it one more time. Ready? B, at, bat. Good job.
As you can see, those skills progress throughout the year. And so it's really important for us to have that practice in learning our letters, the keywords, and sounds. So we're really working hard on learning all our letters and sounds as much as possible by January so we can continue with this next portion of the Fundations program.
Whoops. So this next slide shows the varying reading levels at kindergarten. And there are sample texts starting with the level A, and prior to A, there's even a level called AA. By the end of the year, we want your children to be reading somewhere within the D level or E level because the progression from kindergarten to first grade is pretty immense. And so we will be working with and some of your teachers, students, teachers may have already started using this with your children, and they will be progressing through these reading levels. And it's really important to help promote reading by nightly reading. And some of the benefits of nightly reading are that it enriches language development, it builds vocabulary so that children, as they grow up, can be well spoken. It encourages engagement and conversation. It promotes brain development, and it aids in understanding a world outside of their own. You can go anywhere in a book. And it strengthens your family relationships because it's just a great time to spend with one another. So, our goal for our students is to be at a level E or D by the end of the year. And just so that you know where your child goes next, we're going to show you what first grade looks like. So you can see the major difference between where they begin and then where they're going to need to be by the end of first grade. And so there's definitely more text within each of the sentences that they're reading, more words, and there's a big jump. So it's really, really important for us to do that nightly reading with our students every day and to promote that vocabulary and to enjoy books. So our end of the year goals, this slide shows us by the end of the year what kindergartens should be expected to learn, such as I can write my first and last name all on their own without copying it. I know 26 capital letters, 26 lowercase letters. I know all my sounds. And again, we are working through that with our Fundations and in Edgenuity. I won't read all of these, but they're very important for you to take a look at. And we will be posting these in our Google Classrooms and possibly on our school's website so you can look at this more in depth. And as we work together as a team, we will get these accomplished for our children.
Now we know that we all have such fond memories of kindergarten, including making friends, going to recess, playing in centers, but all that playtime was learning time. And one of the things that we know in this day and age, it's so important for us to become fluent in math. And sometimes as grown-ups, we can be a little bit nervous about math, but we want to say, we want you to promote math and focus on problem solving instead of focusing on I'm not good in math, say let's figure it out. The next couple of pages will have a few resources of concepts that are coming up quickly in kindergarten, ways to practice and have fun with your children practicing these math skills. Next, we have a moment or two for question and answers. Mr. Montoya, if you could share with us some of the questions that we have. Thank you so much for joining us. We are so excited to be here and we are always available. Our kindergarten team is excited to work with you and let us know if there's anything we can ever help you with. We're coming.
It helps to unmute your mic. So what I was sharing is, families, if you're wondering about what questions I am looking up here, I am looking for questions that have been posted to the form that's linked to the event that's on the front page of our website. If you go to academyk8.aps.edu, scroll down on that homepage to events, open up the Dragon Lair Cafe Konnection, and you will find a link to a form where you can submit your question that we will answer live here momentarily once I am able to get this form back up. Our first question is about phonemic awareness, and let me pull up the individual that sent it. So this is a question from Aria. Apologize if I pronounced that incorrectly. Oh, nope, excuse me, that person does not have any questions. Oh, where did it go? Give me 1 second. I think there was a question here that might have been edited out. Oh, no, here we go. I can't connect this to the person who sent it, but this is about phonemic awareness. I'll just read it as I see it. Phonemic awareness is critical to literacy development. Fundations seems to be addressing phonics with a little phonemic awareness, with a little, or maybe with little, but it says a little. And Edgenuity focuses mainly on sight words and text reading, while only touching on phonics and some phonemic awareness. Are there any plans to increase phonemic awareness instruction? Also, any plans to expand the foundation lessons?
Phonemic awareness, as it seems you well know, is the oral part of language development, manipulating the individual sounds orally. And the part in Foundations that works on that is working on the sound initially and getting sounds. We also do it through rhyme, and we do the rhyme through songs and stories that we present during our meet time. And as far as expanding our Foundations lessons, yes. As soon as we get through Unit 1 and Unit 2, which is a thorough examination of letters and sounds, we start working on listening for those sounds, putting them together, and learning to read consonant, vowel, consonant words, and eventually using digraphs to include, so we can read words that include digraphs. I hope that answered your question. But we do try to incorporate a lot of song and rhythm, which helps us with that phonemic awareness.
And another great way to practice phonemic awareness at home is through nursery rhymes, because they're easy for the children to learn. They have rhyming words, and then they can play with sounds like that. I know that I've always said little rhymes with my own children, like, let's go, Joe. Not that anyone in my family is named Joe, but it's just fun to be able to say those things, and it gets kids practicing rhymes as well. Next question.
Awesome. That question, actually, I finally figured it out, came in from Bev. That was the only question that we had for Konnection tonight, although we might get one asking why my head is still showing. Still trying to figure out the streaming software. I'm not supposed to be in that little thumbnail down there. But right now, that is, let me check and make sure nothing just now came in. And no, that was the question we had for our session tonight.
Sounds good.
Thank you everyone for coming, and we appreciate you spending time with us.
And you can always ask questions anytime through email to your teachers if you do have questions throughout the year.
Awesome. Thank you so much for a great presentation tonight. I'm really glad we could make this happen. And like what was just shared, if you have questions for your teacher, absolutely feel free to reach out to them via email. Don't hesitate. It's better to ask than just to hold on to the question. So again, thank you for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you all again at our next Dragon Lair Cafe. Thank you.